All right, hey guys, welcome to my next video. A couple of my subscribers um, had asked me about doing a video on weathering. So you asked for it, you got it. So the Tiger is, as I mentioned in my update in my last video, it's all painted, winter whitewash is done, initial chipping with Viejo Camo Black Brown. So I painted a couple of the details. And, excuse me, I actually forgot to put the decals on before the whitewash, but oh well, no biggie. Then I clear coated it with, this is what I use. I think it's the best clear coat I've ever used, and I got the matte here. So yeah, it's great stuff. I love it. One note on the winter whitewash. I put 2 coats of hairspray down, 2 light coats down with my airbrush. Let it sit for about an hour. Then I went in with the Tamiya white, a couple light coats, and let it sit for probably 2 hours before I came in and started doing the chipping. I found that the longer you let the white sit and dry, the more control you have over the chipping. This is the first tank I did with winter whitewash. Excuse me, was the first tank I did when I got back in Armour 2017. Was a Dragon T34. And I didn't wait long enough. I probably waited maybe half an hour after the white dried. Went in and started chipping, and it was coming off in big chunks. And I ended up having to repaint it and do it again. So let it sit. You can actually let it sit overnight. Just takes longer. You have to let the water soak a bit longer, and it takes a bit more effort to get the chipping effect you want. It took me an afternoon, spread out over about 4 hours to do this when I did it. So the first step I do when I start my weathering is I give the tank a wash. And all I did was mixed up, I got a cheap set of oils for weathering, Ivory Black and Burnt Umber. And, oops. Yep, that's why. I got this idea from Greg Riley. It's a, I don't know what you call it, a spinny thing. I got at a dollar store. It cost me a couple of bucks. And yeah. Okay, guys, I'm a dumbass. That first bit at the beginning of the video, I recorded about a week ago. As you saw, I spilled some of my wash. So what I ended up doing was turning my camera off to clean it up. Came back, sat down, did the wash on the tank. I'd forgotten to hit record again. So anyway, this is about a week later. A couple days ago, I recorded an update on my SU-100 and a bit of my adventures in Photo Etch. I went back and replayed it, rewatched it, and realized I swore through the whole thing. Typical Dragon. It's a nice kit, but it's got some fit issues. And my adventures with the Photo Etch, yeah, I think I made a record on the most F-bombs dropped in about 10-15 minutes. I also got very creative. So Zinzan, if you're out there watching, my friend, if you need some new words for your swear jar, let me know. Anyway, so here we are. What I did, or what I forgot to record, was doing the wash. What it does is, oh, I should preface this by saying, when I do Armour, I don't do any pre-shading, post-shading. I don't do any filters or oil dot filtering. Because with the way I weather, you don't notice it when it's all done. And especially if you do a winter camo, you won't notice any of it. And to be quite honest, I don't think a lot of it looks, especially the filtering, I don't think it looks realistic on Armour. It looks great on aircraft, but Armour, no. So anyway, here we are. Oh, and I'm getting a cold too. Sorry if I sniffle and sneeze and whatever. So where I am now is I spent a couple hours this afternoon weathering the lower hull of the Tiger. And it's just pigments. And I used a base of Viejo Thick Mud, let it dry, and I just went crazy with pigments. I used Europe Dust, Dark Mud, a little bit of, what is this? City Dirt, Light Sienna, Natural Umber, and Russian Earth. Put them in a little palette. And yeah, the road wheels are all done. I left a couple. I'll show you how I do it. Those road wheels are all done. Sprockets and idler and a couple of more road wheels. Started painting the Pioneer tools. They're almost finished. Got to paint the C-hooks and the axe and the sledgehammer and the wire cutters and the shovel. I'll use Printer's inks for the metallics. I always like undercoating that in black. So yeah, here's a road wheel I haven't done yet. So all I use as a fixer is thin PVA. Just take it, brush it on. Take my pigments. I'll put 2 or 3 colors on at the same time sometimes and just dab it on. And that's it. One more. And I never use the same colors twice. I always use a combination. You can make it as heavy or as light as you want. This is your model. You can do whatever you want. And nobody can tell you you're wrong. And that's it. Do a little bit on the underside. You're not going to see it. But yeah, that's it. So I will be back. Oh, Riley needs surgery on his ear. He had a hematoma I had drained a few weeks ago. Riley's got really, really bad allergies. And he must have nicked a blood vessel in his ear. So by the time you see this, he already had his surgery. This is Saturday night. He's getting a surgery Tuesday afternoon. I'm dropping him off in the morning. Picking him up after work and taking the rest of the week off. So, excuse me. He's getting a whole shitload of stitches in his ear. So anyway, that's it. I'll be back. Probably, I'm going to add some splashes and maybe some stains and streaking along the lower hull. I will probably be back when that's all done. So, yeah, we'll see you again soon. Hey guys, it's May 31st today. Riley had his surgery yesterday. He had to get a blood vessel in his ear cauterized. Dropped him off at 9 o'clock, picked him up after work. We were home by, I don't know, 4:45, I guess. And he was pretty zonked out of his skull, so he slept most of the night. He's still kind of out of it today, but he's up moving around a bit more, so he's just still under the after effects of the anesthesia. Vet said it'd be 24 hours, maybe 36. He'll be back to normal. He did really, really well. It was only about an hour-long surgery. He's got 15 stitches in his ear. I got to go back in 2 weeks to get them taken out. Great vet, great clinic. The techs there are fantastic. They adore him. And the vet, like I said, he's a great vet. Really, really nice guy. He does have the world's worst toupee, though. I'm not sure how he gets up in the morning, puts this thing on and thinks, yeah, nobody will notice. Yeah, everybody notices. But no, he's a really good guy. Anyway, to the tiger. A couple of nights ago, I started adding some splashes. Excuse me. Can you see that? Yeah. They're kind of subtle, but they're there. Some streaks, but they kind of blended into the pigments, but that's all right. A little bit on the front. Did some work on the exhaust and the casings, whatever you want to call these. Road wheels are all done. There's a sprocket. It's all done. all the metallic or the steel rims on the road wheels I did with printer's inks. You see that? There we are. Idler done. Did a little bit more work on the exhaust shrouds last night. I think they're pretty much done. I used Viejo Camel Black Brown, a little light orange, a little amaranth red, and a couple of Viejo washes, and I just applied it all with a sponge. For the splashes in that, I used thin down Viejo Russian Splash mud, some AK Dark Earth, Summer Kursk Earth, and a little bit of Winter Streaking Grime. And that was it. So that's done. Oh, and the Pioneer tools and the C-hooks are done. Finished them last night. So all that's left is to finish weathering. Next step for me will be pin washing. Yeah. And the turret, I haven't done anything with that yet, really. But I'll start with the turret for the pin washes and then do some weathering with oils and maybe a bit of pigment work here and there. And then it'll be done. So I will be back. Okay, guys, all the pin washing is done on the turret and the hull. Looks pretty good, I think. Pretty happy with the way it turned out. I just used sepia for my pin washing. I don't go really crazy with it. It's there. Some of it places it's subtle. I'm going to touch some up as I go along. There's the lower hull. Road wheels are on. The sprocket keep falling off, so I just left them off. That's all done. Put the Pioneer tools on, and I realized, shit, I forgot to do the big ass pry bar, so I primed it just with auto primer. I didn't want to get my airbrush out just for that. So the next step, the tracks are painted. Red oxide auto primer, and then Tamiya flat black. And then I just gave them a coat of a dry brushing of Viejo gunmetal. I'll show you how I weather them in the next bit. I just use pigments for the most part. Yeah, so it's all ready for oils and fuel stains and grease stains and engine grime and all that. I'm using, where are we here? AK engine grime, engine oil. I'll use some Winter Streaking Grime. I've got some other streaking grimes I might use. Dust Effects, all AK. And what's this one? Oh, not that. And I use oils a lot. I use burnt umber. I use sepia. Sometimes a bit of burnt sienna. Depends on the look I'm trying to achieve. So I will be back shortly to show you how I start weathering in oils. Okay, guys, how I weather with oils. I usually start with a turret and work my way down. I always look for areas where there's a lot of crew traffic around hatches and sometimes the sides of the turret where they climb up on top and areas like that. So what I do, this is just a bit of burnt umber. I'll put it around, I don't know, this part of the hatch. Just put it on randomly. It doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to be blending it out anyway. This will simulate dirt and grime and, you know, shit that was on their boots and stuff. Then I take a dry flat brush and I just blend it all out. Just like that. Tap it, brush it like this. You blend the edges out. Blend it until you like the effect. Doesn't have to be perfect because it's dirt on a tank. There you go. See? That's all you do. You can go darker, you can go lighter, you can use whatever colors you want. Excuse me. Sometimes even what I do is I'll take like a light pigment I don't know how well this is going to show up. And put it on there and blend that in. It didn't really show up too well, but you get the idea. Oops, I had some paint on it. That doesn't matter. Not all dirt stains, and that were all the same color, so yeah, that didn't show up too well. I'll use a different brush. Just put your pigment on. Actually, I should have. There you go. That's all you got to do. Just keep going until you are happy with the result, and then move on to another area. So I'm going to finish this all off camera. Oh, one of the supports for the spare tracks broke off. I can't find the damn thing anywhere. So I just put a little bit of rust there. I've seen pictures of tigers that have had those knocked off, so it's not so unrealistic. Yeah, so I'll keep doing that, and I'll come back when it's done. Thanks, guys. Okay, guys, the Tiger, for the most part, all the weathering is finished. Where are we here? Finished it last night, Sunday, the June 4th today. And I think it turned out really, really well. Pretty happy with it. And yeah. I gotta do some minor dry brushing on it. There's the turret. Hi, Riley. Riley's doing fine. He's back to himself. So I'm going back to work tomorrow. There we are. Yeah, like I said, I'm really happy with the way it turned out. And I thought I'd show you how I weather my tracks. So, like I mentioned, I primed them in the Red Oxide Auto Primer, gave them a coat of Tamiya Flat Black, and gave it a quick dry brush of Viejo Gunmetal. So, what I do is I use mainly pigments, and the same thin down IPA or PVA as the binder. And I just work in small sections, putting it down. Maybe 10, 15 lengths at a time. Then I take my pigments. I use the same pigments that I used to weather the tank. And just mix and match. Dab them on. You can go as heavy as light as you want. I like to alter the colors sometimes, because tanks went through all different kinds of terrain, and not all terrains were the same. So, and that's all I do. Every once in a while I might take a bit of like thick mud and dab it on a couple of links. Just building up some volume in different spots. And that's it. You can cover that with pigments too if you want. And that's it. Now, one side done. Oops. So yeah, there you go. On the inside of the track, because Tiger ones had steel, late versions had steel road wheels, I'm going to go in and highlight all this with printer's inks. And I'm going to do a separate video on printer's inks, because I had a couple of people ask me privately what printer's inks are. I may do it at the end of this, or I may just do a separate video altogether. So I'll be back when the tracks are finished and the tracks are on the tank. Thanks, guys. Hey guys, here's the finished Tiger. It was a real fun build. I had a lot of fun building it. For a Dragon kit, it wasn't a complete pain in the ass. I only had one minor fit issue, and that was it. Kit went together like a dream. I had fun weathering it. That's my favorite part of a build. I still got to flat coat it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the tow cables. I might leave them off. I might put one on or both. I don't know yet. And I'm still working out. Excuse me. I want to put on a base. I'm leaning more towards like a street scene with some rubble and stuff, and I may do a video on how I do my groundwork. Maybe a bit of snow. I've got 2 alpine figures I got to paint for it. I was thinking of doing a painting video, but the way I paint, I don't think it'll film very well. Because I'm as blind as a bat without I got to take my glasses off to paint detail, and I hold the figure out way too close to me. We'll see. But yeah, it was fun. A lot of fun. I'm glad it turned out the way it did. So, thanks for watching. Thanks to my subscribers. I got a couple of new ones. And thanks for all the comments. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below, and we'll see you again soon. I'm going to do another quick video on printers inks. I think I mentioned that. I may do it this weekend. We'll see. But anyways, thanks a lot, guys. Take care. See you soon.